Man, bro, y'all cut that shit out. We're already losing shit. Boy, I could have kept that motherfucker. We was gonna do that.
We're the better team. They knew it. But that coach spoke differently. He was on them differently. The level of intensity of that locker room was different because of who Deion is, because who Colorado had become. And I think there's a sense of difficulty, Chan, that being Prime, that level. Like, it's great because you get all the other stuff that you wouldn't get other places. There's a lot of teams better than them that everybody don't go see. How do you get over that? How do you fix or adjust to the fact that you are getting everybody's best shot, even when you aren't the best team? That's when you talk trash. You're going to get everybody's best shot. That's why I say there'll never be another Coach Prime again. Anybody with as much lore as him, almost like an Ocho. Anybody with as much attention on him, they don't want to do that job. That job is hard. Like Ocho just said, you got Coach Prime who has plenty of money, plenty of respect. He's sitting there 17-year-old kid living room telling them how great they're going to be and how I'm going to watch out for you. I'm going to take you under my wing like I'm your father. Like, it is a difficult job to do. And when you put a target on your back, that's why they call it that. Because that motherfucker's trying to shoot you. Mm-hmm. And everybody wants to take their best shot. So Prime is going to really have to grind and recruit and do all the things it takes to be a Nick Saban, to be a Kirby Smart up there, Jordan. To do that, that's a difficult job. And these kids were ill prepared to have that on them, to have that attention. Some were. Shadua can play like there's some good players on that. They got some receivers. Travis is one of the best college players I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. You need 80 in college. And you got to have guys coming up behind that guy to prepare for the next year when he goes to the league. Prime just got there on a 1-11 team. We talked about Floyd. He was going to fail, and people were waiting for it. It's like Floyd Mayweather when he was boxing. People were watching him to get knocked out, including me. And I love Floyd. I'm like, somebody sooner or later is going to have to hit this little joker and catch him. Who was that? Pacquiao caught him one time. And the whole party I was in jumped up. He got tapped, and then he went and commenced to whooping that boy's ass. No, that was Sugar Shane. Shane caught him twice in one round, and folks went crazy. He didn't win a round after that. No, I'm talking about whipped him like he stole something. Alicia cried probably in that fourth round. You know, she couldn't take it. She probably was in the back shaking the shivers. You know, and Floyd went to commence to whoop his ass. Dion doesn't have the dogs right now. And don't hit on the head. If I am a DB, I go play for Prime. If I'm a receiver, I go play for Prime. What does Prime know about left guard? What does Prime know about Michigan 3 technique? How is Prime going to get those big corn-fed sons of bitches in the middle of Wisconsin to come to Colorado? Because that's what you need to be.
It's Prime. I think it makes it that much easier. It makes it that much easier wanting to play for someone of that stature. Because if I was a lineman, that's where I want to go. Because you're going to have the same amenities, before the same things you can get into Michigan and the other Power 5 schools.
I think it also comes down to consistency. You better believe Prime is ready to deal with this sort of adversity. I'm not sure the players were, but I'm pretty sure he's done his best to try to get them in the mindset that it ain't going to always be flowers. You know what I'm saying? So they lost 3 in a row, but they're better than they were. I mean, that message is still there. I think we still see the consistency in Dion with how he works in his interviews and his faith and how his optimism. All those different things I think are encouraging, and he's able to still go into these homes. You know, people know he got a mouthpiece. So the families are going to want to say, I can send my kid here to get a life, to learn about life, learn how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Learn about what's going to happen if I don't make it to the next level. And I think all of those things are assets to Dion. And, people, 1 minute, they're going to be able to talk about it. But the next minute, they'll better praise him again. He's going to stay steady. Yeah, you know, Pride. He's going to stay steady. He's going to get bigger.
Remember what he said? Y'all taking shots at me now. Yeah, he said, y'all better get me now. Yeah, you better get me now. And I know exactly what he meant. Yeah, I think, though, I love to watch lessons unfold publicly because Prime's consistency is a lesson for everyone. Because what it says is, I wasn't behaving this way because I was up. I was behaving this way. I had this level of faith. I had this level of belief because I'm me. Because my entire life, this is the way I've been. When I walked into your son's house, when I walked into your house, and I said, this is what I'm going to provide for them, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to continue to do that. That level of consistency is not only honorable to me, it's admirable. Because it's hard, right? It's hard when you're losing. And the shots, because he was taking the shots while he was winning. Like, let's not act like everybody in the world was happy they were up, because they weren't. And they were taking the shots and they were waiting for him to fall. And now that he's fallen, the shots keep coming, but he does not change, right? He does not change his messaging. He does not change his treatment of people.
Go get it.
He doesn't change his love for the people he coaches. No, you're going to try to make adjustments and make things right, because life, when it comes to football, is about wins and losses.
Fuck, bro.
And I think the other thing, and I think Channing said it too, that's important is no matter what happens at Colorado, it can never make Deion Sanders a failure. That's a different level of comfort to have.
Hit one, please.
Right? That if this team never becomes a national champion, it doesn't take away from how I was raised, how being raised that way led me to be where I was. I was having conversations and thoughts of ending it all when everybody thought I should be on top, and how God brought me out of that. And now what I'm giving to these young men, that the fact that I have a gold jacket is something nobody ever talks about. The fact that I'm the best that's ever done it at my position, I don't have to live on that because of who I am now. That's a different level of confidence to be able to pour into those young men. And it made me think about, we were having a conversation, and I won't necessarily bring up the exact conversation, it was three of us. We were in Chan's dressing room. I think Chan was in his drawers at the time. Fortunately, these still had the booty in them. Like you had not rubbed the booty out of these yet.
How often you throw your drawers away?
I'm not sure.
You can wear drawers for years, right?
Yeah, you got to just wash them over and over and over.
Yeah, see?
You don't wash them. Chad, you were talking, you talked earlier about your experience going to Canada, and you mentioned there are things that you cannot come back from. And you were giving us an example of something, that's going on in life since. And you said, because of that experience, I learned how to handle this. I spoke earlier about how much you've grown and getting to watch you. Like I said, I sent you a text message. That was excellent, man. I love it. Talk a little bit about how your experience through life has changed you as a man and where you are now maturity-wise as compared to where you have been as an actual adult. I think before, I lived life a little reckless. Took everything for granted. Especially when I was playing. Being honest, almost invisible in a sense. I wasn't doing anything wrong. When in the streets, even back then, I didn't party, I didn't club. Just, I was on a personal level and as an individual and as a man that had responsibilities at the time, I was moving reckless. And the man upstairs had to sit me down and take some things away, to get me to see that and understand you ain't moving right. Even though I wasn't doing anything wrong that can die, death, jail, nothing that magnitude. So with that losing everything and then coming back and being able to get it all again, I got clarity. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, this is why. Oh, now I get it. Because if I was still moving like that, it's impossible to these opportunities. But there's no way I would have got this. But you know what? The way I was moving back then, there's no way I could attain this as well. So me understanding why he made me sit my ass down and take some stuff away from me to bring me to the point I'm at now. And it's made me a better man, a better individual, a better person. Not much of me has changed, but I move differently than I did before. I move differently. And I'm saying this and I'm trying to navigate through it without giving the table legs. If you get what I'm going. Yeah.
How much of losing Hurricane Pete plays a role in that?
Goddamn hurricane. A little bit. I miss my baby. That's a good job. I appreciate you jogging that memory. But a little bit. I think about it a lot. Visit the grave site sometimes, right? And the first thing I says to myself, well, y'all always talk about y'all love me when y'all was here. Y'all motherfuckers, I'm talking to my mom and my grandma, y'all motherfuckers buried next to each other and ain't nobody gave me a sign yet. Y'all always talk about y'all. Tell me something right now. And I'm talking to the grave, man. Still to this day, man, I have yet to get that sign and just or acknowledgement of just some sort. And people say the signs are right in front of you. You probably missed them. No, I didn't, because I've been waiting on them. I've been waiting on something. And everything I do now is to make sure I make them proud. And they always say, oh, they watching, they praying for you. Because I always say, well, RC, you mentioned too, I'm trying to get a better understanding how the hell I got to the point I am now. I ain't figured it out yet. How? How is it possible? Who praying? Because the two most important people in my life are gone. So the opportunities I've been afforded now, still to this day, obviously there are people in my corner that have done a phenomenal job.
Damn.
And, it's been a wonder. It's been a joy for me and a blessing in many ways. Sherelle has been a blessing in many ways to this point. And also, I definitely got to give credit to those I had kids from. Those I have kids from have been a good foundation for me. And the fact that I didn't do things the traditional way, but the way I did do them, I've been afforded the opportunities I had because of those I've had kids from, because they kept everything level. That foundation on that end was always strong. If that foundation over there wasn't strong, I wouldn't be able to do what the fuck I'm doing now. And so I always give them credit when I have an opportunity to tell them how thankful I am today. Doing what I'm doing now today, with the train rolling again, wouldn't have been possible without. You mentioned the train rolling again. What was it like in between the times the train was rolling? It was quiet. It was quiet. But when I had a good 6-7 years of silence, good 6 or 7, that's a long time, bro. Silence. A lot of gaming. A lot of boxing. A lot of playing soccer. That's it. And all of a sudden it took one. I think it might have been ESPN. ESPN did something. And once ESPN did something, then everybody say, oh. And they just start coming in like clockwork. So like 4 years now, blessings been raining. Like out of nowhere. And I still can't grasp why, but I see it as another test. I think you're doing it on purpose. Let me see if you're going to make the same mistakes you made last time when I had to take everything from your ass. Now that's how I see it now. So I'm always on my P's and Q's, really seeing what's going to happen. He going to throw something at me. Let me see if he going to take the bait. And that's how I look at it. Honestly. So I'm actually, I mean no disrespect. I'm actually mind fucking myself in not the messing up. And it's working for me. Honestly, bro, like I love that. Like that is, like we have these natures of who we are. And there's these things that are innate to us that happen very naturally. And sometimes what we know is the right thing or what others deem is the right thing aren't the things that are easiest for us to do. And it's like working out. It's like putting in effort to anything. Sometimes you got to get that goal or have something that says, this is why I have to go do it. And if that's the way you have to be in order to have yourself on the path of quote unquote righteousness, ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I just want to say, Ocho, man, it's your responsibility to yourself. Just going back to that, and a lot of times it's really you can sum it up with one word, just call it growth. Like, that's where you are. You look at your mom, you think about your mom, you tell yourself, damn, baby girl, we've come a long way. I thank you for that. And then you're able to lend yourself a favor and really just grow up, man. I lost my grandmother. And the only reason I say this is because these guys, I was told that they're coming to her wake. This guy got 1 million jobs. He ain't gonna take a day off. So for him to, take a day off and show up, that's love. I appreciate you, bro. Chan, I appreciate you. AZ, I appreciate you. And that's family. So I think about my old girl too, and that was the reason I asked you about Hurricane Pete. Because sometimes you can kind of look over to your left or right, and things that you're thinking, you can remember those smiles that will make you feel better. You can remember those moments that'll make you stop thinking something negative, or wherever your mind was, it'll help you kind of fly away with them. So that's why I asked you if that helped you become a better person from that point.
Please, Dan.
Because I feel myself kind of shifting into a state of forgiveness and learning how to become a better person. And I appreciate these two more than I probably ever appreciated in my life, because they've helped me become a better person. I still got a lot of work to do, so I just wanted to share that. But I wanted to ask you, bro, and all of that, everything from Chad and the antics. I would love to see what Chad would do in this day and age of football with the lax and the rules and the things you can do.
Still be getting ran over by Ray.
And with that, the jobs, the appearances, the opportunities, just everything that you've done. At what moment? What has been your biggest pivot and all of that in life?
My biggest pivot.
Your biggest pivot.
I'm much more disciplined than I was before. To those that mean the most to me, and not taking it for granted. Because it wasn't before. I treat a lot of people, the closest people to me, like they were disposable. Next. That attitude, I can find that again. Next. they came in my life, they came for a reason. And when they came in, there was a certain
Bro, come on.
feeling that I hadn't had before. You know, they say normally when a man finds the right person, you know, they're willing to change. And there's nothing you can do. You can't force it. They just do it on their own. And I've done that. I've done that. So there's a certain discipline that I have in the way I move right now. I've never done it before. I don't know, maybe it's growth or whether it's maturity, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just what.
Oh.